Hello.
All right, let's share.
I always got to be the first one on the recording.
Present. All right, welcome y'all to our third meeting. Our that is the wrong date. Today is the 13th,
Here, let me change
July
it real quick.
13th. Yeah, July 13th, 2021. So we have a few updates today. This is kind of how it's gonna go. We're gonna give the updates. Then we're gonna do a very anticipated lab tour. We did some work here. We're also gonna be talking about a project scope and some, I guess, more like tasks. We're gonna be talking about the design phase and also sub-team projects. Okay, some quick updates. If you haven't done so and you join from the Slack, please join the Discord. If you don't have the QR code or anything to join, just message Goose or me on Slack privately, and then we'll send you the QR code. You can join. Uh, this is maybe the last week we'll be sending a message on Slack for the general meetings. So if you haven't done that, please do it. And then also officially, I think we already mentioned this last week. For the summer, we'll be continuing the general meetings on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. As far as the sub team meetings, I know all the sub teams have been communicating as to what days that you all gonna meet. So keep an eye on that. The lab has been rearranged. I'm about to join from my phone right now. I'm gonna mute myself in here, and then I'm gonna be just giving y'all a quick little um, tour of the lab and some of the changes we've made. I'm gonna tell you right now though, it looks way different, way different. So I'm gonna share my screen for the time being. I'm gonna mute myself. All right, can y'all see me? Yep.
Sure can.
All right, I need to put the camera. So let me just start from the very front, and then you'll have a general idea. So we have a few members here: V, Alex, John, and I'm sorry.
Hey, member, he's part of UAG, not part of Rocketry.
Okay, so first of all, what we did is we move all these like shelves on like the wall. We've like stored a bunch of stuff we haven't used. That was in the lab here. We put all the tables, and then the shelf. We've organized everything by like category. We even have an arts and crafts, just stuff you can use. We have some gum, cleaning supplies, and a lot of more stuff too. I can show you if you ever come to the lab, just because it'll take a very long time. Still, we have some cool stuff up there. Now, right here is very exciting because I know we haven't had like an actual spot for the X Wonder. But now this table is specifically for that. So ghost structure, everything up here has been rearranged. And then this is just amazing, just having this table here. And I think Gustavo mentioned that we can get more tables in here for more space. We've been thinking about getting shelves too, to storing all the like the sub team stuff. All these boxes can go in there. We can label everything. It'll have a lot of access. And then the back has been reorganized, but there's still a little bit of cleaning done. The 3D printers are in the back still. And then all of the hobby rocketry stuff is right here, L1s, L2s. But yeah, we have so much space. It's great.
if we get more tables in here, it'll look amazing. I'm just excited to work here. And this will be officially the community laptop. We'll have a monitor in here. We still got to finish the casing for the community laptop. But once we're done with that, you'll be able to use it. We'll have programs in there, SolidWorks and so on. But I'm glad you all like. I hope you'll like it.
Irvin, question in the chat. Are we sharing the lab with UAV?
All right. So as far as sharing the lab with UAV, I don't know. I think that's to AIAA as to see what they think. But I think we have a lot of space now to where we can share the lab. I don't know if anyone is in UAV in here who has been, I guess we've talked with anyone, with the chief engineer or project manager as to what they think on doing. But I'm not able to give an actual answer right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of speak on it. I don't think Rocket Team's going to share a lab with UAV. I think they're going to end up having their own lab.
Are they going to keep the same lab?
That I'm not 100% sure on.
Okay.
Right now, that's the plan.
Hobby Rocketry, I don't know either. I don't know if you have an answer for that, Omar.
Yeah, we're still working on that one as well, so that's a maybe.
Okay. Well, yeah, we have a lot more space now. I think the camera doesn't do the job as well as being in person. So for y'all who can come, just let us know. We'll visit the lab and just go through everything. It's clean. There's a lot of space. We can add more tables, as I said. So that can be great. And then the shelves are going to be amazing too. You just let us know. Y'all have any questions right now? All right. Now let's continue the presentation. Oh, that was supposed to be the lab tour slide. Look at that. Look how different it looked back then. The difference.
Okay,
All
so
right.
on to like the project scope, kind of the plan Irvin and I have for the summer leading into the semester is to like really focus on getting as much done as we can with the project, with the like design and like conceptual part of the project. So like you know, over the next couple of weeks, we want to start like really focusing on like having meetings where you guys hash out ideas, come up with projects and different subsystems and whatever to add to the rocket, whatever you want to do. And then like 2 to 3 weeks out from the fall semester, we'll like actually choose what we can do. So like you know, it's just brainstorming for now. And then once the semester starts, then we will do like really settle down on what we're going to be able to do for the next semester. Then like 3 weeks or so into the semester, once we have like some new recruits and everything into the like team, then we're going to have like a PDR. The PDR will be a great opportunity to get like members like involved and to learn what we were able to do over the summer. And then that way we also get like word from the like alumni and like I guess whoever wants to like really join the PDR, we can hear their like concerns or like maybe just additions that we might want to take into account. And then we'll take like a week to like digest those, come up with solutions, yada yada yada, and then we will address them. So like go through and fix them, like actually do the work to like fix those issues. And so a total like 5 weeks after that, after the PDR, we'll have a Delta PDR, which is basically just addressing those concerns. And that puts us around like November, December-ish time. And hopefully by then we can really start like building the rocket per se. And then I think that'll be a good pace for us. But to do that, that really means that we only have like 3 months left in the design process. So it sounds like a good bit, but it really isn't. So we really have to get on top of that to make it happen. So for now, like for the design phase, what I want you guys to like keep in mind is that we really want to push for a minimum diameter rocket. That's our biggest thing is, you know, reducing drag and reducing weight. That's what's going to get us to 30K with like the smallest motor possible. And from what propulsion was able to do last semester, it looks like 98 millimeters is the smallest we can go, and like still maintaining enough I guess juice in the motor to get us up to 30K. And 98 millimeters is, well, 4 inches. So ideally we can keep a 4 inch rocket. So if you guys have your systems or whatever, keep it to 4 inches if possible. And then weight should be also, you know, what the next biggest thing to reduce. So diameter and weight. Next slide, please. Um, just to like, I guess, have a direction for each of the sub teams. Uh, some of like the minimum things that I guess Irvin and I are expecting, also with some like ideal things that we could implement, are for avionics, a flight computer that can, or like a flight computer that can log flight data. So whether that's like apogee, velocity, acceleration, all that stuff, and then control the separation events. Some other stuff that we might be able to include that'd be really cool to include would be like the SRAD stuff. I know V was talking to me and Irvin a while back about GPIO pins, maybe a telemetry system, an ability to remote control the avionics and all that stuff from like a base station would be really cool. And implementation of all the sensors that Analysis was working on last semester would be great to do. Next slide, please. For structures, it's you know, basically they need to make a airframe that's capable of taking us to 30K. Basically, all they need to come up with is an airframe and a fin can. But ideally, we can get a, you know, SRAD airframe that's made with the X winder. Hopefully, you know, we could research a little bit of nose cone material stuff. So maybe we can 3D print it or make it with composites as well. And ideally, we have a modular fin can. But the real concern there is that since we're going to be going for a minimum diameter rocket, you can't really put a motor mount inside. It's not going to work because the airframe itself is the body, it's the motor tube. So there's no space inside the rocket for a MMM. So the idea is to make some kind of contraption that can hold and replace fins as we go. Next slide, please. Propulsion, it's for 30K, it sounds a little simple, but they just have to choose a motor. But ideally, we can get some nozzle design stuff. So I know the nozzle isn't just doesn't come with the motor itself. So we can do a little bit of work, maybe designing that. That'd be really cool. And then, you know, the SRAD hybrid motor will be like a world of its own when it comes to SRAD stuff. So there's a lot more there, but I won't go into it. For the recovery sub team, I guess all we really need is something that can separate at 30K, because I know I've heard that black powder doesn't react the same way at 30K as it does at 10K. So something that can work at 30K will be ideal. And recovery hardware, so like, you know, all the quick links, shock cords, all that stuff. Ideally, we can do all that SRAD. So we can sew, like there's a sewing machine in the lab. Ideally, we can just go ahead and buy some material to make the parachutes, the quick links and all that stuff. That'd be really cool. And if we can make some separation device, that is like a mechanical separation device. I know there has been some work on that before, but finishing it up would be great. Then if you want to tackle that, Irvin.
For Analysis, I know it wasn't there, but it's just, I guess our minimum is just trying to learn CFD and get really good with FEAs and so on. But they'll be working with each sub team depending on what they need to complete. Now for some closing notes, reconstructing the sub team operations. So one thing that we want to try for this upcoming fall is kind of dividing the workload between like between the sub teams. So kind of having a person who has the responsibility to do a specific thing in the sub team. So although you can still work on other stuff and you can have people helping you, it kind of is your responsibility to finish these things. Like that's what you're in charge of. Not only it will that take a lot of responsibility from the sub team leads, which will hopefully help with communication, but as well just taking any load from other members and just it can be like equivalent everywhere. Uh, we want to also continue using the sub team task agreement. I know last year Goose and Ravi all used it at the beginning. We want to just stay consistent with it throughout the whole year. Documentation. So make sure that everything in the lab and all with the work we do, we have like time lapses, pictures, Word documents, uh, monthly reports. That's going to be huge too. Just every month, just writing everything we've completed. Very good example. And I want to shout out here Ravi for last year's reports with structures. They were great. Testing reports, and then everything that you do should be uploaded on the drive. You can keep it on your computer too, but just in case something happens, you should definitely upload it on the drive. And now I think Gustavo can talk more about this last paragraph here.
So the big idea with documentation, I think, is just keeping it to what's important. I know in the past, I know with structures and Ravi, I tended to go a little overkill and just make like crazy documentation that has like every minute detail. I think that was a little overkill. So with the new like 30K project, since it's something new, and I know Irvin and I have been trying to like shift it more towards like the sub team projects. So like everybody has like their own little project going on. Those kinds of things need to be like documented so that when sometime in the future, if some other like group members when there's new members on the team and it's not us anymore, they can go back and learn from all our stuff. So especially with the SRED materials, that's it's going to be really really good for them to be able to look back on the work we did. So to do that, like it'd be really great to have pictures, time lapses, all that kind of stuff, and like the monthly reports will be great, but they don't have to be as crazy as we were doing it. Ideally, they just have like the stuff that's really important that's going to be like able to be learned from down the line, which is like what was planned, what we wanted to do, like any things that like any hiccups we ran into, just stuff like that, and like what we were able to like take away. So if there's like some kind of testing, like the results, why things were different than we expected, and so on and so forth, will be really good. That's all I have to say on that.
All right, cool. And then now it's just time for questions. Feel free to ask anything about anything. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, by the way. No questions.
I have a question. Oh, were there photos posted about of the new layout of the lab? I don't know if I saw those.
I don't think there's been photos posted, but
Yeah, just because
Irvin, if you want to
when you were doing the tour, sometimes it's a little hard to see. But
Okay. What I can do is record a video with my phone, not from Zoom,
okay,
and go through like more in detail with stuff now that I'm here, and then upload
gotcha.
it. Um, I'm gonna do my absolute best to upload all the meetings onto the AIAA YouTube channel. So this meeting, any other stuff we do, if they can be up there just for y'all to watch, I feel like it can help out. And then for the lab tour, I'll get on like a lot more details if I record it through my phone. Somebody said, oh yeah, it's the same lab, just reorganized. Ravi, you have a question?
Yeah, regarding the projects y'all chose for the sub teams, is that meant to be kind of like the main, I guess, like focus for the PDR? Like, is this like part of the design work, or is it more of like post PDR or like overall goals for the year, if that makes sense?
I think those are going to be PDR goals. So like a lot of those projects, they're a little more involved, or they can be more involved, especially if you don't have like the members to like really focus on it and get it all the way through. So I mean, what I was thinking is really over the next few weeks, really try to figure out like different ways you can solve those problems. Some might be like a little more expensive or maybe a little bit more involved than something else. And so maybe like 2 to 3 weeks from now, or like whatever 2, 3 weeks out is from school starting back up, then we'd have like a budget meeting and we'll see like what we really can get away with like all the sub team leads and everything. And then at that point, then we'll try to see like if we can get that done by the PDR.
Cool. Thank you.
Also, I I want to give a shout out to Carlos Soriano. He had his first sub team lead meet last week, and I was very impressed for him being his first meeting ever. It was great. He went into a lot of detail about like recovery and what he was expecting when it comes to design. So, yeah, shout out, and I can't wait to see everyone else's meetings and what y'all do.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Because you want to talk about the calendar?
The calendar?
Yeah, like the idea we had a little.
Remind me.
The
I'm a
Google
little
Calendar.
right. So one of the things we were thinking about implementing was on the with like the AIAA Google account, setting up a Google Calendar where everybody, like all these sub team lead meetings, all the sub team meetings, everything just kind of posted. That way, if you want to go join another meeting, for whatever reason it might be, like maybe you're doing a project that's similar or like involves the other sub team, or you're just curious, you're able to go visit that. So I think that's something that would be really really cool for us. Also, I can't stress enough, like 3 months is not a lot of time to come up with this stuff. And as much as we can get done early on, I think the stronger we're going to be through next semester. So like please please please, like start brainstorming, start coming up with solutions, sit down with your sub team lead and just shoot them out a text and start like just coming up with ideas to solve these problems. I think that's going to be fundamental to how we do this semester, or this upcoming semester.
Agreed.
So I think the calendar idea would be really helpful.
Something else. Well, one thing that my brother brought up last week was maybe having individual members kind of be like representatives for other sub teams to kind of like know exactly what's going on with them. So let's say a member in propulsion, member A would be assigned to communicate throughout the week, every week with structures. Member B would be with recovery. I think that can be really, I mean, we still want everyone to communicate, but if you have like an assigned member for each sub team, I think it'll help out, and then you can like give updates on what the other sub teams have had done throughout the week. If you'll like that idea, let us know. We can make it a little more official.
Yeah. On the note of like doing the sub team like mini projects, like a huge motivation for that is, one, I think giving people like individual projects like gives them the time and like opportunity to like sit down and like really learn like whatever subject it is, rather than well, I don't think they're going to be co-leads this time around. um I mean, I guess for exception of propulsion, which I guess is kind of co-led. on SRAD and COTS division. But on the note of like the mini projects, I think assigning somebody like a a little task, I guess with structures, it could be like somebody like learns the X winder really well, and then somebody else knows the MMM really, really well, or whatever the successor to the MMM is going to be. And then that way, like you're not really focused on two things at once. You can just really, really learn one thing really, really well. And that way, at the end of the year, like your stuff pretty well, and then you have like pride, I guess, in like your work. And that way, at the end of the year, you can even add that to your resume. Like, you develop this, maybe not single-handedly, but like, you develop this system, you and your team, as opposed to just like blankly saying, oh, you worked on the rocket or something. The second thing is, I think it's going to really work for us in terms of efficiency. I think giving everybody like individual tasks instead of working like collectively on, chipping away at collective tasks is going to be really efficient for the team. Also, giving people a sense of responsibility will hopefully have them stick around a little bit longer.
Any more questions? No? Okay. Well, I'll officially end the meeting here.